Good morning, beautiful people. Hoping this message finds you well and safe. Uh, Wanted to give you something to think about in light of all the messages and things I'm seeing going across Facebook in response to Supreme Court hearing. I'm actually not going to talk about that. I'm going to challenge your thinking. But first, I'd like to start with a story. Living in Wisconsin, what you see quite often is there are deer constantly running across the road. Deer do not care about the vehicle you drive. They do not observe street signs, anything like that. They just cut across the road. So one morning, a deer cuts across the road in the middle of rush hour traffic, and there is physical contact. There's physical contact between a deer and a car. So this is my question for you. In that story, what is the truth? What are the facts? What are the truth and what are the facts? So once you've sorted that out for yourself, the people who were in the cars who observed that physical contact, when the police contact them, the police say, "Can you tell us what happened?" And there is someone who is being honest about what they saw happen. So now we've got honesty, truth, facts. Meanwhile, this has happened so often that there are a group of people who decide to share the narrative of what is happening on that road where there are deer present. So for yourself, this is what I want you to think about. What is your understanding of the difference between honesty, truth, facts, and narrative? The narrative. The question I have for you is, when there is an intersection built or a wall that prevents deer from running across the road at that spot, which of those four do you think contributed the most to that happening? Did honesty do that? Did truth do that? Did the facts do that? Or did who controlled the narrative do that? The reason I'm offering this up for you is because I do not want you to get lost in your civil discourse on fighting about honesty, truth, facts, narratives, opinions. I for one always recommend not being emotional first, thinking it through and understanding what it is you see happening so you can anticipate what will happen next or what you should be doing next. So there are all kinds of honest opinions about things. There are people who are sharing the truth or sharing their truth, which further complicates it. There are also people who are in control of the narrative. What is your understanding of the difference? Which of those seems to be in the most control of what happens next? And rather than being upset about it and fighting about it and being frustrated about it, I want you to see it. See it for what it is. See it before you see it, as I like to say. I want you to think through your comments today, and then I want you to think through what your next move should be. You could apply this professionally. There are people who are honest about you, people who tell the truth about you. There are people who know the facts about you, and there are people who control the story or control the narrative. Which one do you seem to spend the most time being anxious about or fighting about or being frustrated with? People who are honest about you, people who know the truth about you, people who know the facts about you, or people who seem to share a narrative about you? Keep in mind, people who control the narrative don't even drive down that road. They do not always drive down that road. People who control the narrative about you, in most likelihood, have probably never met you. So breathe, people. That's it. That's what I have for you today. Looking forward to, as the universe would have it, reminding everybody that voting matters here in Houston, with my fraternity doing a voter drive. And yes, black bikers vote too. So with that, I hope this message finds you well and safe and healthy and patient and diligent. I hope it finds you breathing, pausing, and thinking about where you should exert your energy. Fighting honesty, fighting the truth, fighting the facts, or fighting the narrative. And of course, I hope it finds you thinking. Stay safe, everybody. Stay cool, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you next time.